Elizabeth!
No, Elizabeth!
No! Elizabeth, don't!
This is Left Unsupervised with Elizabeth Morales, your comedic host that's done it all. Actress, writer, director, producer, hairdresser, bartender, beauty pageant organizer, rock and roll PR expert, talent coordinator, bookkeeper, hostess, makeup artist, wife, mother, and general badass. Now listen as she interviews all of her favorite celebrities, doctors, and entrepreneurs that she's met along the way.
So, oh my God, Dayna. Here we are, Monday morning, the first day of daylight savings time. Girl, hashtag the struggle is real.
I am embarrassed by how much this is affecting me. So tired. I stayed up really late to make Sunday gravy, which like anybody who like...
Did you have the Jersey Housewives in the background?
You know, we didn't. Somebody put like Italian music on in the back. And now in retrospect, I should have had the Housewives on in the back. Would have been so much better. But I was up until 2, and then 2 turned into 3.
Oh my God.
Cooking, because the hour jumped.
I saw the food. Did you posted it on story, right?
I did.
It looks so good.
It was so worth it, but like the whole meal I was sitting there like, you know, like when a baby like eats spaghetti and you kind of see them like nodding off.
In the spaghetti bowl.
Yeah, it's like the spaghetti bowl. That's what I felt like yesterday eating sauce.
Oh my God. You're going to start a blog too, right?
I am. It'll be out yesterday.
Oh my God.
Which is really exciting, and I can't wait.
What's your blog about?
My blog is my mother, before she passed away, started to write me a cookbook, but she never finished it.
Oh.
And I found the book a couple months after she passed, so about 4 years ago I found it, and I am trying to finish the book from where she left off.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Thank you. I'm really excited.
Well, it probably gives you a really close connection to your mom. Like, do you feel like she's with you when you're starting to make all these recipes?
Absolutely. It's like a sense memory like that is the closest thing I've ever found to like a time machine. When my house smelled right yesterday, and that was such like a cool feeling.
Aw, that's amazing.
So that was great. But man, I was fucking tired.
Okay, but girl, next time you do that shit, you better like bring some of that to me, because I'm
know.
always ready for some good Italian gravy.
Be careful what you wish for, because I've got a year of blogs coming.
Oh my God.
What did you do?
I am kind of laying low because I'm doing this Tony Robbins thing this weekend. You know, I've been going through these health things that I've been dealing with for 6 months, which is that damn pancreatitis, which at the end, I think I'm just going to have my gallbladder removed, and that's what it's going to end up being. But it's been a struggle, girl. It's you know, I'm like a firecracker. So I'm active and moving, and I'm on the go all the time. And this has kind of kicked my ass, where I've been struggling to stay above water and stay positive. But I know that the finality is coming soon. Like, they're going to figure this out. So I kind of just laid low a little bit and went to my girlfriend's house, and she's got like the best closet. Ooh. Those kind of closets that you see on TV that you want really bad. I basically just tried on a bunch of stuff, and I'm shooting with Mr. Troy Jensen. I'm so excited.
Now, has he ever shot you before? Or
Never. You don't understand. I have been on social media for 7 years looking at his work. He is an iconic makeup artist and photographer, shoots the Hollywood top of the line. I've never shot with him. It's always been my dream to shoot with him.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it this week, and I'm literally jumping out of my skin of excitement.
Okay, we got to talk looks. What are our looks for this
photo
shoot?
Think I'm going to probably get a new image for the podcast.
How cool.
A new shot. So that's exciting, you know. We're going to do all different types of look. I'm just going to sit there. I'm nervous as hell because you can stick a movie camera in front of me or a video camera, right? And I'm like, whatever, don't care. You stick me in a photo shoot, and it's hilarious because I will make the weirdest faces. It's like, oh, give me your sexy look. And I'll be like,
No, absolutely. I think this is such a relatable thing for people that, especially like people that do comedy. I cannot take myself seriously when it's a still photo. I just can't.
No.
People sometimes, like I've heard, like people like they make fun of models or things where it's like, oh, like it's not work. That is work. To take yourself seriously in front of a camera.
Listen,
it's so hard.
It's an art form.
Yeah.
Okay. You see these supermodels. It's no joke. It's like smile with your eyes. And I do that and all of a sudden I get cross-eyed. It's like, what the hell's happening?
Without I don't have it in me. I just, anytime I get headshots done, the only ones I like, I'm making crazy faces or
I'm pointing or doing something that is totally inappropriate, scratching my crotch or,
My favorite pictures of myself, my eyes are closed. I'm like, this is hilarious.
I'm like, this shot.
I hope that you can like dig deep and like find that part of yourself for this shoot, because that sounds like such a cool, fun experience to have somebody like that. Not only like getting you all dolled up, but also being behind the camera. And his work is really incredible.
He's doing my hair, makeup, photo shoot, stylizing me. I'm like, this has been, no lie, a dream of mine to shoot with him for the longest time. And I can't believe I'm finally doing it. And I got to tell you, though, I have a stomach ache just thinking about it.
I don't know why. I know this is not what is happening. I picture a tiger in this, in the photo
Dayna.
for some reason.
You'll see me on all fours. I won't look like a tiger.
I just picture you with like a tiger on a leash smoking a cigar. That's like, to me, like when I think of you, that's like the image I kind of have.
Oh, thank you. And I think of me as like a dead cockroach on his back, like with his legs up in the air. That's how I see it.
Isn't it so funny? Our perception of ourselves versus like how other people see
God.
us.
Thank God nobody sees me the way I kind of see myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Mike's like, you have body dysmorphia. And I'm like, oh, shut up with that. I do not. But I think sometimes I do.
I think all of
Don't
us
we all?
have perceptions of ourselves that are like listening to your own voice is like cringy. Yet people still love us and adore us. But when we hear it, we're like, oh, God.
Yeah, we're like, oh, I sound like that. I usually sound like, in the mornings, me and Mike will go away for the weekend. We have our weekend getaway, because, we're parents and you get involved in everyday life. So we've been together for 22 years. So we got to keep it hot, girl. And the only way to keep it hot is you got to go away on the weekend, have your little sexcapades and, drink and let loose. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll roll over and I'll call for room service. And it never fails. They call me Mr. Rubenstein.
Every single time.
Every single time. They
That's
think
so
I'm
funny.
a man on the phone because I have my low, raspy voice in the morning and I always sound like a dude. It's so funny.
That is so funny. Do you guys have like favorite places for like getaways?
So we do these little mini getaways. It might even be like a night. So I love the Sunset Marquee. I don't know why. I just love that place. The pool area is awesome. You just sit there, you drink, and you just feel like you're away,
Yeah, I love hotels. I love them. I love a hotel. I love like a good Airbnb. I just like myself on vacation, even if it's just for a night or something like that. I really love it.
Listen, one night away from everything, every responsibility, which is I love my dogs, but, I can never sleep in on the weekend because they are like on the bed, ready to go at like 7 a.m. And when you're home, the phone's ringing. You never really get to disconnect. So we like to go away. I think that's why we've been married together for 22 years, because we're keeping it fresh all the time. You got to get away from real life and then just go and bond and connect without the same environment,
I didn't realize how long you guys were together before you had Aiden. You guys kind of did the thing that everybody hopes to do, is like you guys traveled and were married and did like a lot of stuff and then did the kid later.
Can I tell you that my poor husband had such a challenge with me because I am the dude in the relationship when we first got together. I was the one that wanted no commitment. When I met him, our first date, I had gotten out of a couple of bad relationships. And so I was just like, this is the year of Elizabeth. I had taken time off. I didn't want to have a relationship. I was like, sex complicates everything. This is the year of Elizabeth. And that's the year I met Mike.
Of course it is.
Of course. That when you don't want a relationship. When I was looking for it, I picked all the wrong guys. When I was like, screw this is me time.
I definitely want to get back on topic, but I do have a tangential question. What was like your type before Mike? Who were like these wrong guys? Wise?
They were dark. Like, they always have like a dark element about them. Muy macho. You remember, I don't know, you're too young, but there used to be this skit on SNL, and it's like, ¿Quién es más macho? ¿Fernando Lamas o Ricardo Montalban? So I would get these like super macho, like Italian, like my ex was Italian Sicilian who wanted to control. I cannot be controlled. And so I would always get these controlling guys. But my dad was kind of like that. So I think I picked my dad. My dad had that very dark side, very controlling, very jealous. And so I guess that's what I would gravitate to.
And what is sweet Mike Rubenstein like?
Well, first of all, I thought he was Italian when I first met him. So I met him through a friend. I was helping a friend out at work, and he shows up the next day. His employee comes in, and he's like, hey, were you in Brian's office? And I go, yeah. He goes, well, my boss came in here, and he was like, all about you. And I'm like, oh, really? Who's your boss? And he's like, Mike Rubenstein. And then I go, well, who's that? And he's like, he had long hair. So Mike had long hair down to his almost waist, all his ears pierced. And, he's got sleeves of tattoos. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I did that in the 80s. Not 80s, 90s, not down with it. And one day Mike calls me and asks me out on a date. And he's kind of nervous about asking me. And I'm like, yeah, well, let's go to a happy hour with a group. And he goes, well, Mike's a very shy guy. He's like, well, I'd rather not. I'm not into the group thing. He goes, I'm more into like getting to know you one-on-one. Because with the group thing, it's just, I won't really be able to get to talk to you. And I'm thinking, oh, God, this high maintenance, really? And I'm like, okay, fine. So let's go out. That poor man, our first date, I was sitting there telling him, I don't want no man that's going to tell me what to do. I don't want no man. I'm not looking for a relationship. You want a good time? I'm your girl. If you want a relationship, I'm not your girl. This is the year of Elizabeth. He still called me the next day and sent me flowers.
Oh, my God.
Crazy, right?
You're very lucky you were dating
so
then. Because that.
Lucky. He didn't say much. I called my girlfriend. I'm like, this guy, no, he doesn't even talk. And she's like, well, did you give him a chance? And I'm like, yeah, I gave him my list of things that I don't want and what I'm not going to do. And she's like, I got the flowers. And I was like, okay, I'll go out with him maybe one more time. He sent me flowers. I feel really bad. Girl, third date, I call my girlfriend. I'm like, okay, this guy is scaring me. He's like, seems like the type you'd get married. And screw that. I didn't ever want to get married or have kids. I was like, screw this. I don't want to ever see him again. Because of this friend, I'm still with Mike. She said, don't do that. Stop being scared of relationships. You might miss out on the best thing that ever came your way. And I was like, all right. A month later, I move in with him.
Oh, my God.
We've been together ever since. 6 months into it, we go to Europe. We get back from Europe, and I'm panicked. I was like, when I moved, I was bawling, and I was like, I'm losing my independence. And Mike gives me money, and he goes, go out with your girlfriends. I'm going to move you. He moved me while I was having a nervous breakdown about losing my independence. Okay.
Yes.
I move in within 6 months later. I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know. And da-da-da. And he gets home one day, and I'm kind of packing, getting ready to leave. And he walks in, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. We sit down, and I go, well, here's your key. Yeah, I think I'm going to move out. This is too much for me to handle. And he's like, I thought he was going to try to talk me out of it. He called my bluff. Okay. He goes, oh, really? Okay, well, if you want to do that, I totally understand. But I'm not going to be in a relationship where I'm not sure if you're going to be here or not, or you're going to stay or not stay. So I think it's best then, if that's how you feel, that you leave. And I looked at him. I got so pissed. I go, I'm not going anywhere.
Mike has proved he's a badass in so many different ways in this story. Oh my gosh. And also now knowing Aiden, who's like such a doll, like it makes perfect sense. Like he seems like such a lovely combo of both of you.
And I'm telling you, this fear of getting married, because all my family is a mess with marriages. My mom's been married 3 times. My dad was married 3 times. My brother's been married twice. I was like, screw this. I don't want to get married. But it's interesting now in retrospect how fear can really fuck you up, because I would have never had this amazing family that I have now. Like, I thought I never wanted to have kids, but that was all fear-based. I have a kid now. I can't imagine not having it. I love him to death. He's like everything to me. And this amazing husband that just supports me in any crazy thing that I decide to do. He's like, go for it, baby. You know, we go out. He's the shy, quiet one. And I'm on the table dancing, and everybody be like, there's Elizabeth. And he's like, yeah, that's my baby.
Well, I mean, what a lovely, like, it feels like you're yin and yang. I think, like, often, especially, like, when people date young, you're either looking for a parent that you had a misconnection with or somebody that's so similar to you that...
Or somebody to fix you.
For sure. Women tend to look for somebody that they hope that they could change, and men are like, please stay this easygoing forever, and nobody can live up to that. So when you find somebody that complements you as opposed to matches, I think that that's what happens. You have somebody that completes you.
Yeah. And you know what? He's no pushover either. You know, I will drive him nuts. You know, I'm Cuban. I'm loud. I'm emotional. He's like nice, quiet Jewish boy, you know, but I know when he's
to a point.
Yeah, he's like, Elizabeth, enough. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, I better shut up. You know? I know how far to push, you know. Oh, my God. What about you? What's your dating situation?
I think I'm kind of where you were when you started this journey with where I'm like.
It's the year of Dayna?
Yeah. My generation doesn't get fucking flowers. We get HPV. It's just the worst. There's nothing good left.
And dick pics.
Yeah, dick pics. And you'll date somebody for like a few months and then they'll literally just stop speaking to you. Like it's
So they ghost you.
Yeah, you get ghosted.
I just learned that terminology.
Yeah, exactly. So like not only do people like not properly date, they don't properly break up. You're in like a weird nebulous forever of just hoping to not run into a lot of people. I'm done for a little bit at least.
I'm confused.
Exhausted.
The swiping, the up, the down, the side, the left, the down. I have no idea. I don't know what I would do if I were single now because I would have an issue, I think. Because I'm a ball buster. I would not allow like dick pics and shit like that on my second date.
It's unnatural. Like everything about it feels weird because I think like being in between generations, and I've talked about this a little bit on our Valentine's Day episode, but I grew up with these ideas and like romantic comedies and all of these stories that my mom would tell me about like when she dated, all of these things that I learned to be the way that people meet and people date. And then the second I hit adulthood, boom. The rules go completely out the window. There's no structure to stuff anymore. You go out to a bar now, everybody's on their phone swiping.
When you go to a concert and people are watching the concert through the phone, it drives me fucking crazy.
Which is like, it's very hard to connect or meet people. I think like I might be done with apps forever. I don't think that they're for me. I have only ever had bad experiences, I think, kind of through them. And again, I'm sure there's like my version of the friend that you had that's like, Dayna, don't. But for right now, I can't shop for people.
Well, Dayna's a cutie, guys. So we need to do a dating show. We should do a dating show with you.
I know. We talked about it. Look, you have carte blanche to set me up. I trust you. It seems like you've got like a good grasp on like what would be good for me compared to what I think would be good. Because I pick terrible.
I will be your picker, and I'm a tough cookie. So if they're going to be in, they're going to have to prove themselves. I think, too, it's kind of weird because I feel like people have lowered their standards a little bit about what they expect from another person.
Oh, get this, right? So we have, at least my generation at least, we have lowered the bar so much of expectations that basic common courtesy has become chivalry. And here's what I mean. I dated somebody a few months ago.
I wish you guys could see Dayna's face right now.
I'm pissed. So this person called me on the phone. And I tell my friend.
Oh, my God, he called?
He called.
Wow.
She goes, oh, my God, marry him. We have lowered it so low,
Oh, my God.
that is where, like, what did we do? It's not funny. Stop laughing. This is ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm horrified.
I know.
I'm laughing. It's a nervous laugh. I'm horrified, but yet it's funny as shit,
I'm kidding. I mean, it's truly. I fear. I have a sister who's 16. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to tell her. I wouldn't know if somebody opened a door for me. I think I'd drop dead. I don't even know what.
Oh my God. What would happen? We have to experiment. What would happen if you would just stand there? Like, listen, I'm a feminist. 100%.
Oh my, I'm not. Open my door. Pay for things. I want
that's
the
different.
stuff.
I think that's chivalry, right?
Yeah.
I want my door open. I don't believe in this bullshit. Oh, like men want their door open too. Well, yeah, too bad. Women do other things. I love to cook for my husband or do something. I love my door open. He still opens the car door for me sometimes when we go out on dates. That's, our date nights.
You got to knock it off at this point. This is getting too cute.
Well, listen, everybody has their things, but I think you have to say what you want in the very beginning, which is something that I never did with other relationships. With Mike, from the very start, we sat there and we said exactly what we want. And guess what? If it scares him, bye, Felicia.
Well, that's the other thing is, God forbid you date now and act like you want to be dating. You have to be so aloof. You have
You're killing me.
I know. Oh my! It's everybody's like you have to pretend that you don't want to talk to the person. I set alarms on my phone to text people back so that I don't seem so eager.
Oh my God.
I'm the most anxious butterfly on the planet. My phone is constantly in my hand. If you have spent more than 15 minutes with me, you know that. Yet for some reason, I've got to throw my phone like a football away from me the second somebody texts me because I'm like,
God.
I have to wait 45 minutes before. And there's so many rules in that aspect where you have to be so aloof that it becomes appealing that they think that you're too busy to. It's so complicated.
Okay, I have ADD. I'm already lost, and I have anxiety right now just listening to this shit.
I think that's why I'm just done. I'm like, I work 2 jobs. Pursuing a career. I have so many other things that to add dating into the mix of things. Unless I'm getting fucking paid, I don't have time for this right now because it is a full-time job trying to maneuver around one. So you get on an app, right? Which makes it seem like, yes, I'd like to date, right? That should be what you're saying to the universe, to every person that's on there. Yet, when you go on a date, everybody's like, I'm not really looking for anything right now. I'm like, what the fuck were you doing on there? And then I gotta go, yeah, me neither. Well, I drink a margarita I didn't want because I panic ordered. And I'm sick of going to Studio City. It's not central.
Had a salad. I don't want to order any more salads and margaritas with these people that don't want to date.
Well, the only people, too.
Oh, my God.
Because if you act like you don't care, which is only when I don't care. Because if I like you, it's very obvious. I'm not talking. I'm not.
You shut down.
I shut down. Oh, my God. I shut down so hard. I can't really. Like, this doesn't happen when somebody I find attractive is around.
What would happen if you just did? Do you ever watch Seinfeld? Mm-hmm. Do you remember when George Costanza did everything that he would normally not do and did the opposite?
Well, that's what happens when I don't like somebody. Those are the people that won't stop texting me after dates like that, where I'm like, I'm gonna have cheese fries, and like I'm like I don't want to see this person again. I don't care. It's whatever.
You're like Big Mac, milkshake, pay the bill.
Yeah, I like start talking about like I don't like my dad, like all these things.
I have daddy issues.
Yeah, like I'll go off, and then that's like Steve Bumble won't stop texting me, and I'm like I wasn't interested.
Well, maybe that's what you should do when you like a guy. Like throw caution to the wind. Just be like the most obnoxious. That's what happened with me and Mike. I was like, I don't care. The most obnoxious. I think it's when you don't give a shit.
It's only when you don't give a shit. Like, truly. I have a couple people on my phone that have been talking to themselves for months. I haven't even responded.
My girlfriends that are in their 40s are having a rough time with this dating stuff. They just don't know. Even with I don't know, play dates. They're all virtual play dates. Like, my son will have kids come over and they'll sit in front of the computer and talk to each other through the computer, and they're in the same room. And I'm like, guys, go outside to the tennis court, start shooting some hoops. I literally make them get up. And my friend has a basket in the front entrance. And so when the kids come over to play, you have to put your phone in the basket. So it makes them interact and they don't know what to do. But then once they get over that, they're having a blast.
Yeah. I mean, of course. And your yard, fucking great. Again, I don't understand. I had kind of the luxury of I played outside as a kid, and then this technology it hit a little bit later.
So are you considered a millennial? Mm-hmm. Your age, right? Okay.
Yeah,
your age.
So I still I grew up where outside was a big deal, but
okay. Fresh air.
Fresh air. It was you're in or you're out.
Explain something to me. I don't want to generalize and I don't want anybody to get upset with me. But just I've noticed that millennials have 50 million jobs. They have no one job that they really want to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Can you explain that a little? And I'm not being facetious.
For sure.
I'm trying to really kind of figure it out. I had a lot of jobs, but there was always one that, like when I was like my son's age, I couldn't wait to drive, right? And he's not a millennial. I think he's Gen X is what they call
Yeah, he's
them.
probably what my sister is, which is, Gen X. Like, after 2002, right?
I think so, yeah. But they don't want to drive. It's like, it's not, I go, hey, do you want to, nah. And millennials, they rather not have a car. Like my niece rather just Uber everywhere. Like, I couldn't wait to have my car. Can you explain a little bit? Like,
I think what a lot of...
I sound like an idiot right now, but...
Oh, no, I'm going to sound like an idiot now, too. None of the jobs that we are kind of offered in general, like you kind of come out of college and come out of school and you have something that, like you want to pursue. For me, I needed like the flexibility to kind of do what I needed to do for comedy.
Right.
But what I find most people have said is the problem is you get these entry-level jobs, you don't get health insurance, you don't get...
Any benefits.
You get no benefits.
Right.
And I think that not having benefits for a lot of us kind of forces us to have these
three
other
or four or five
jobs to supplement.
Right.
And I think like what we're learning kind of as a generation is it's really hard to own something. Like if you're paying insurance on a car and gas and all of these things.
Student loans. Like even a lot
loans.
of kids don't want to go finish. My niece doesn't want to finish some of her college because she's like, I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my life.
You're truly in debt well into your 40s. And that's, best case scenario for a lot of people. And because rent is insane, like it's almost impossible to find a 2-bedroom apartment for under $2,400 in this city. So
especially in this city or New York.
New York. I mean, even
metropolitan cities.
Any metropolitan city.
Yeah.
So when you think about entry-level jobs, you're paying about modestly $1,200 in rent.
Oh my God.
Car insurance is extremely expensive. Then you got to pay out of pocket for health insurance because a lot of our jobs won't let you work. That's another thing too, is most jobs keep you under 30 hours
to not
have health insurance. So the generation above us has found loopholes to keep people that are coming into industries without. So you have to supplement. Like I know a lot of people that work at the restaurant that I do that have full-time jobs that need to supplement on the weekends just to pay for basic needs.
Right.
So I find that tends to be where a lot of it comes from, is to just pay for your basic needs because, if your rent is $600, you can kind of have one job.
Right.
When half of your income goes to rent, you kind of need to.
Plus, when you live in the city, you need transportation, especially in LA, because you don't have public transportation like New York has,
For sure.
Yeah.
So that also.
Well, thank you for schooling me because I was like, okay, the millennials have 20 million jobs and are dedicated to none of them. They're like, it's like you're just kind of going through. But that makes sense to me. You guys are coming up in a different time. But there's also a great thing about millennials, and you have a bad date, you can just call an Uber. I had a bad date. I would have to make up a story, go to the bathroom, call a cab, hope the guy wouldn't come out looking for me, hide, and then jump in the cab and go. You know
what's so funny? When you say that, I'm like, oh, you have to have cash on you.
You do?
Yeah.
My aunt used to say when I go on dates, she's like, do you have your mad money? And I was like, what's mad money? And the mad money is the date's not going good and you want to get the hell out of there. You have to have cash so you can get in a cab. So I always had my mad money. I dashed on a lot of dates, first dates. Like I didn't have the patience. Like if it was not going good, I would get the hell out of there. I've hidden in so many places. Bathroom stalls, standing on the bathroom toilet in case the guys send a girl to look for me in the bathroom,
Oh my gosh.
while I was waiting for a cab. I didn't have much patience to go. I was a horrible single person. I think I just didn't want to deal with, crap. After a certain time, I went through so many bad relationships that I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm not going to waste my time. Bad date, mad money. Yes, I'm out of here. And then we didn't have cell phones. So I'd get home to a litany of, bad messages of guys like losing their shit on my recorder. But I was like, well, I remember one time it took me like 4 attempts to like tell this guy I didn't want to see him anymore. And he just didn't understand. He kept kept calling me. And then one day I just lost my shit and I started screaming on the phone like, what don't you understand? And my roommate comes in and she's on the floor. She's like laughing her ass off. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, he's not getting it. I had tears rolling down my face, like laughing so hard the guy couldn't get it. And so, there was no call blocker or anything like that. You just had to deal with it face to face.
And you know what? I have to say, we need to stop teaching women to play hard to get. And we need to stop teaching men that if a woman says no, that she means yes. Because it's that. We're taught that.
He just didn't understand.
He can't understand. And also because some women do that when they do. And it's hard to sometimes like drive into somebody's head like, no, I'm saying no because I mean no. I don't like you. And they're like, okay, I get it. When am I picking you up?
You little time.
Yeah. Well, also the lucky thing is you didn't really see it in that scenario before phones, before Instagram. You don't have to watch their next relationship.
Oh, God. Yeah. Well, I would have welcomed that one because he was hard to get rid of. It's comical now. I mean, I felt bad for him. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I also am not about candy coating shit either, Well,
no, it's not. I mean,
I tried nice the first time. By the fourth time, I'm screaming and he's still, I don't get it,
Yeah, you don't start screaming. You work your way up to it.
Until he hears me. Because, it's funny that I'm in my 40s, you're in your late 20s. Different generations, we have different things. There's also a commonality.
There's so many parallels.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying, I'm like,
we're still human and we still have those human instincts and those, even you that grew up in a time where everything is electronic, you still want that human connection. There's things that don't change regardless of generation.
For sure. I think if anything, I want it more because I miss it. I've never really even been to a concert or a show without people's phones being the lighters.
Right. Oh, it was so fun when you go to a rock concert. You actually had a real lighter. They don't even let you bring them in now. Bring your vape, right?
That is true. Yeah, you can't bring a real lighter in, but I could vape.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've vaped into my bra, just blowing into my shirt. I'm I don't know who I think I'm fooling. People know what I'm doing. I had a great moment with last week's guest Santina. We were at a show and we were hitting a vape in the audience and I blew it into my shirt. It's coming out of my neck and my sleeves.
Smoking.
She goes, do you think people can't see you?
It's vape. They can't.
I'm smoking weed inside. I'm just blowing it. And...
Vape almost makes you feel invisible.
Yeah, I feel I'm
vaping, nobody will see me.
I'm if I close my eyes, you can't see me, which is so dumb. But I would never do it with a cigarette. I would never light a cigarette in a room and try and blow it into my shirt. But with a vape, there I am like a smoke monster. I feel like a kid with a cigarette behind their back. No, I'm not.
So, it was Women's International Day. Mm-hmm. Driving over here, my son's out of school today. And you know how he's always dropping knowledge on me.
Oh, he's the smartest kid I've ever met.
Okay, it's scary because, like I said, half the time he tells me these facts and I'm like, oh, really? Oh, yeah. And then I go to the next room and I got to research this because a lot of times I don't even know what he's talking about. He is more politically in tune than I am. I'll pick him up at school. He's got political alerts on his phone. And I'll be like, Aiden, just be 14. And he's like, well, Mama, we're the generation of change. So if we're going to make change, we need to be informed. So he's really informed and he's got very strong opinions that sometimes I'm like, you can't write that on social media. I'm like, especially he either wants to be a politician or a lawyer. And I said, this stuff is on there forever. So you got to be careful because,
social media was pretty primitive when I was 14. I had a MySpace and that stuff. But I can't imagine everything my whole life being on there. I think from the time I'm about his age, it's on there. But
yeah,
it's crazy to think about
But if he was ever going to be a politician or even a lawyer, he wants to be a civil rights lawyer. I think that posting anything political right now, I could see 20 years down the road something being pulled out and just, oh, yeah, well, I was 14. Well, it doesn't matter, because don't like him writing all that. But he dropped some knowledge on me. And he dropped a little knowledge on me today on the way here. And I think I sent it to you, right?
Yes, I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah. So It used to be called International Working Women's Day, and it was originally created by a Socialist Party of New York in 1910. The day was predominantly celebrated in the communist and socialist countries. What else does it say there?
Then the UN in 1975 took away the working part of Women's Day, and that is how International Women's Day was founded. The main goal was for women to fight the patriarchy and spread the message of a class struggle to take down their capitalist overlords.
Okay.
I mean, girls.
I mean, snap, snap. That's the kind of knowledge that my son drops on me. Like, oh, do you know how Women's International Day got started? And I'm a woman, I should know this. I'm like, no. And in the car, he's like, well, da-da-da-da. And he starts to tell me all this. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, who would have thunk it?
It sounds very superhero-y, especially with this kind of like the language.
Sounds like a Wonder Woman kind of episode.
Yeah.
Or movie.
I picture, because it's like 1910, so I picture like very, it's in black and white in my head, and these like superhero style ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of taking over Scarface type.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. This is the year of the woman. I'm really glad that things are changing and that by this, I want to say I love men. I am a feminist, but I love men. What I do love about what's happening now is that there is an awareness, because even in my 500 jobs that I've had in my lifetime, I pretty much in every job when I was younger, I got harassed. And it was kind of like just, you kind of laughed it off because you had to like, or you did what I did once where I sucker punched my boss and he fell out. I was just like, but you kind of got used to it. And I think now people are going to think twice about doing that. And
I think that that's the most impressive part is I think because of a dialogue, because people are saying like.
There's an awareness.
There's an awareness.
People are being woke, I would say.
If anything is happening, you know, I think change is going to take a very, very long time. But what I do really love about what has been happening is people are thinking before they're speaking, and they're catching themselves even in moments. And also now that I have a platform and a voice to say, hey, you can't speak to me like that. I know you're my boss. I know, but you do not have my permission, and it's not okay for you to talk to me that way.
Right. And I love that we have these men that have become woman warriors. Like there's a lot of men that are really, 100% back in these women. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like I think change is really coming and enlightening is really coming.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have two really incredible supportive men in your day-to-day life that are so supportive of you and are really, really great. Well, I would love to wish you a happy National or International Women's Day. I think you're such a badass.
Oh, thank you.
You've kind of done everything, and I think it's really amazing for, like you said, somebody who's a little bit younger generation after you to see somebody who's done jobs the way that I'm kind of working, kind of been all over the gambit and landed on your feet and are such a badass. And
thank you, Dayna. I feel the same way about you.
Yeah, I think it's really incredible how, you're supporting women. You support women with your show. I think you're always promoting the message of what this week is about with your work. And I think that.
Thank you. I support women. I support men. I love, I just support humanity. If you're a good person, I love you. Times are changing. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I want to do this again.
Yes, please.
Thanks for listening to Left Unsupervised. Don't forget to stalk us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Left Unsupervised Podcast. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.